If you're looking for a value-priced, second focal plane, feature-packed scope, take a look at this guy by Monstrum. So this is the Monstrum 124x20 S124 rifle scope. What you have, it's a low variable power optic, which would be good for a hunting gun if you're not going to be shooting out at longer distances, or you just want to have something cool, or almost kind of like it does reminisce and look like a lot of the older sniper scopes. So what it is, it's a 1 to 4 power variable optic, and this is a second focal plane, meaning that no matter the magnification that you're on, the reticle size is going to stay exactly the same, and it is going to be consistent. This is actually what's preferred for hunting, because one of the issues that you have with front focal plane rifle scopes is that as the reticle gets bigger, the reticle just becomes way too big, and it might end up actually covering the target. You don't have those issues with a 124. So let's start in the back and work our way forward. You have your fast focus eyepiece, and a little tight, but it does adjust. And what you would do is you would actually adjust this first in order to get the reticle in focus. And the way that you would do that is take a look at something bright, or for example, mount it to your firearm, and then you can look at the sky. And you want to adjust this until the reticle becomes in focus. Once you have that, you're going to be good to go. You have your magnification dial, and you do have this throw lever, and you can remove it if you want to. However, it does screw in. I would say if you want to have it in there permanently, just add a dab of Loctite, and then it'll help you make the adjustment instead of getting in. And this is particularly helpful because it is illuminated, and you do have an illumination dial right on here. So because it's a second focal plane rifle scope, this is why you have your illumination dial here on the back. This scope does have 5 settings for illumination. It has 5 settings of green, and it also has 5 settings of red. Definitely giving you the flexibility, especially if you're colorblind. That'll help you if you're red or green colorblind. Moving forward, you have your scope turrets. Now these, unlike some of the other Monstrums, they are covered turrets, and they do have these caps, meaning that they're not necessarily meant to be adjusted as you're switching distances. You'd use your reticle for that. Adjustments, they're fairly much better than I expected, honestly, for this price point. They're fairly audible, they're fairly tactile, and they're fairly precise. Much better than a lot of the other scopes, which are basically very, very mushy. So you can, honestly, in a pinch, you can actually adjust these turrets if you wanted to. Now, each click is half MOA. It's not 1/4 MOA, so it's not going to be super duper precise. And that roughly equates into ½ inch at 100 yards. If you're shooting at 500 yards, well, each click would actually be about 2.5 inches. So much, much, much bigger difference. Now, would you be using the scope to shoot at those distances? Probably not. And that's why they have it on there. But if you're going to end up spending more money, you would end up getting 1/4 MOA clicks. And some of the precision scopes are going to have 1/8 MOA clicks. Up front, you have a 20-inch millimeter front objective, and all of this is a 1-inch one-piece tube. It's going to allow an ample enough light, and once again, due to the design of the scope and because it's only a 4-power magnification, it's not going to be that critical. Now, the perk of using a 1-power scope is that if you have it mounted to a firearm, you can actually, in most cases, you can run it both eyes open, and pretty decent eye box, and this would actually be pretty good. Now, with the people who should actually consider this, I would say, is if you're considering a red dot, but you have an astigmatism, definitely look at a prismatic scope, such as what Monstrum makes, or you can even take a look at this 124. The difference is because the reticle is actually etched onto the glass, you're not going to be contending with a dot. And if you have an astigmatism, that dot will just really burst out, and you're going to have issues seeing it. This scope, like a lot of the other Monstrum G3s, it is going to come with some extras. You do get a set of lens covers and inside the box, you're also going to get a set of rings. Now, this scope is a 1-inch tube, so you're going to get a set of 1-inch rings. These are decent rings. However, if you want to upgrade your rings, I would actually recommend the 1-inch rings, also from Monstrum, and the difference is going to be they're going to be much beefier. So instead of just having one in each one, you have two on each two screws on each post, and instead of using Allens, these are actually using Torx screws, so very less likely to cam out while you are screwing them in or out. Definitely recommend those rings for the money. Fantastic values for the money, honestly. So inside also you're going to get the manual. It does come with one battery already installed, and you do get an additional battery. You do get a cleaning cloth, and the scope is going to be packaged quite nicely inside that box. So that is the Monstrum second focal plane 1-4 low variable power optic.